He moved into a new apartment, but his dreams started coming true, literally. The first sign wasn't dramatic, no earth-shattering event, just a single, perfect red rose blooming. On my kitchen counter, Liam Walker, 28 years old, a freelance graphic designer with a penchant for black coffee and a healthy dose of skepticism, stared at it, bewildered. I hadn't bought roses. I hadn't even thought about roses. But there it was, a velvety crimson bloom, radiating an impossible fragrance in my otherwise sterile, newly acquired apartment. I'd moved into 412 Sycamore a week prior, a steal of a deal in a slightly rundown building in the East Village. The place had character, exposed brick walls, creaky hardwood floors, and a strange, almost unsettling quiet that seemed to seep into the very air. I'd attributed it to the building's age, its history, the echo of lives lived within its walls. Now, I wasn't so sure. The rose, I decided, was a fluke. Maybe a neighbor, a misplaced delivery, anything but what my mind was whispering. A literal manifestation of a dream. Because the night before, I'd dreamt of a single, perfect red rose. I'd always been a vivid dreamer. My nights were filled with elaborate narratives, fantastical landscapes, and emotions that lingered long after I woke. But dreams were dreams, ephemeral. Illusions that faded with the morning light. They didn't materialize on kitchen counters. The next night, I dreamt of rain. Not just any rain, but a torrential downpour, the kind that lashes against windows, turning the world into a blurred, watery canvas. I woke to the sound of rain. I rushed to the window, expecting a clear, April morning. Instead, the city was shrouded in a deluge. The street below was a river, cars crawling through the downpour, their headlights cutting through the gloom. It hadn't been raining when I went to bed. The weather forecast had predicted sunshine. This was no longer a fluke. A creeping unease began to settle in my stomach, a cold knot of dread that tightened with each passing day. My dreams were becoming real. A forgotten melody from a dream concert filled my apartment with ethereal music. A sketch I'd drawn in my sleep, a bizarre, geometric shape, appeared etched onto my living room wall, glowing faintly in the dark. A flock of exotic birds, their plumage shimmering with impossible colors, filled my small balcony, remnants of a dream journey to a vibrant, tropical land. The apartment, 412 Sycamore, became the epicenter of my unraveling reality. It was as if the building itself was a conduit, channeling the chaotic energy of my subconscious into the waking world. I started to dread sleep, the nightly descent into the unpredictable realm of my dreams. What would manifest next? What new, bizarre element would invade my life? I tried to control my dreams, to steer them towards pleasant, harmless scenarios. I dreamt of winning the lottery, hoping to wake up a millionaire. I woke to find a single, losing lottery ticket on my bedside table. I dreamt of flying, of soaring above the city, feeling the wind in my hair. I woke with a sudden, dizzying sensation of falling, my stomach lurching as if I'd actually plummeted from a great height. Control was an illusion. My subconscious, it seemed, had a mind of its own. My work suffered. My clients, used to my meticulous attention to detail, received increasingly erratic designs, infused with the surreal imagery of my dreams. I became withdrawn, isolating myself in the apartment, afraid to venture out, afraid of what my dreams might unleash upon the unsuspecting city. I researched dream symbolism, desperate for an explanation, for a way to understand and control this bizarre phenomenon. I devoured books on Jungian psychology, ancient mythology, and even fringe theories about alternate realities and the power of the mind. The internet became a rabbit hole of esoteric knowledge, leading me down increasingly strange and unsettling paths. I learned about the apartment building itself. 412 Sycamore had a history, a dark, whispered history. Rumors of strange occurrences, of previous tenants driven to madness, of unexplained phenomena that defied logic. The building, it seemed, had a reputation. A reputation I was now, terrifyingly, a part of. One night, I dreamt of Sarah, a girl I'd known in college, a fleeting crush, a memory long buried. In my dream, she was standing in my apartment, her eyes filled with a sadness that mirrored my I woke to find a photograph on my floor, a picture of Sarah, taken years ago, a photo I hadn't seen in a decade. Sarah, now 28 like me, became my obsession. A tangible link to my past, a face in the chaos of my increasingly surreal present. I tracked her down, finding her on social media, a life lived miles away, a life untouched by the bizarre reality that had consumed me. I considered contacting her, telling her about the dream, about the photograph. But what would I say? How could I explain the impossible? I imagined her reaction, the disbelief, the concern, the polite dismissal of a crazy man. I remained trapped in my apartment, a prisoner of my own subconscious, as my dreams grew increasingly vivid, increasingly real. The lines between sleep and waking blurred, the world around me warping and shifting, infused with the strange logic of my dreamscape. I dreamt of a vast, starlit desert, the silence broken only by the whisper of the wind. I woke to find sand covering my floor, fine grains swirling in the air, the apartment filled with the dry, desolate scent of the desert night. I dreamt of a raging inferno, flames consuming everything in their path. The air in my apartment grew unbearably hot, the walls glowing with an eerie, orange light. I was losing control, my reality dissolving, my sanity fraying at the edges. The dreams were no longer just visual, auditory, or olfactory. They were becoming tactile. I dreamt of being submerged in icy water, the shock of the cold stealing my breath. I woke, shivering, my skin clammy, the air around me frigid. I dreamt of being caressed by a gentle breeze, a soft, soothing touch against my skin. I woke to feel a phantom breeze, a whisper of air that ruffled my hair, even with the windows closed. The apartment, 412 Sycamore, was no longer just a conduit. It was becoming a part of my dreams, a living, breathing extension of my subconscious. The walls pulsed with a faint, rhythmic hum, the floors vibrated with an unseen energy, the very air crackled with a strange, unsettling power. I dreamt of a door I had never seen before, a door that shimmered with an otherworldly light, a door that seemed to beckon me, to promise escape. I woke to find the door in my living room, a shimmering portal in the middle of the exposed brick wall, a gateway to where fear warred with a desperate hope. Was this the end, the final descent into madness? Or was it a way out, a chance to break free from the nightmare that had become my life? I reached out, my hand trembling, and touched the shimmering surface of the door. If you are enjoying this story, please like and subscribe for more tales that explore the strange and unusual.